We need to talk. We are currently in the middle of the project on guitar number 4, seeing if I can build a guitar based off of the method that driftwood guitars uses. There are going to be a lot fewer episodes than I first anticipated. As you could tell from the title, this episode is about the neck and the fretboard and like getting it attached to the body. But how are we getting it attached to the body if we haven't made the body yet? Well, that's where I fucked up. You see, I was running into a storage issue. I had too much footage on my memory cards and I wasn't editing enough to keep up with it. What I should have done was just edit more of the footage and then delete it after I've gotten it all edited and uploaded, and then I'd have space and I would have no lost data. So when I dropped the hard drive, that was the only copy of the files I had. Here's a little reenactment of what happened. I tried to contact people to fix it, but all of them wanted $800 to $2,000 to fix it, and I said, hell no. And so I bought a matching hard drive. It should have been the same exact hard drive, and I was going to use it as a donor to switch out the actuator arms. But instead what happened is that the actuator arms on the new hard drive are a little bit different from the actuator arms on the old hard drive, and I don't know why. They must have updated their thing. It was the same exact hard drive. And so I still have the hard drive. There's a chance for it to be recovered, but I don't know when. I don't know how. And until then, we just don't have the footage. So, what did we miss out on? I can show a little bit on this guitar. We missed out on binding. This is for a different guitar. This is red cedar, aromatic cedar, but the guitar that we used had walnut. Again, this is a different guitar, but similar, very similar. We also missed out on tucking all of the braces into the kerfing. So as you can see here, all of these braces are tucked in to the kerfing. We also missed out on installing the kerfing. Again, this one has aromatic cedar because it matches the binding. On the outside, it's just a theme that's going on. But yeah, we missed that. And then we also missed tucking on the back braces into the kerfings, the same that we did to the front. And we also missed a inlay that I did for the logo of the guitar that you see through the sound hole. So it's inlaid onto the back of the guitar that you can see through the sound hole. It just says Nimbus on it. You'll see it. If I have any footage of it, here it is. What else did we miss? We also missed the binding. This guitar doesn't have binding yet, but basically you take a flush cut router bit, you run that flush, and then you have to level off the sides to make them perfectly flat, and then you go through with a rabbit router bit and carve out a channel, and then you can glue all the binding in. All of this was easier said than done in the actual footage. Obviously, you guys, if you've seen a couple episodes, you guys know that I struggle. I struggle a lot. And let me tell you that these lost files have no lack of struggle. And then the last thing that we may have missed is routering out the mortise onto the body. And when I was doing that, the only thing really to know is that I didn't make it deep enough, and the neck block wasn't thick enough. So that is this block right here. This block on the guitar number 4 was not thick enough, and so when I went to router the truss rod groove, it just blew all the way through the material, and so that truss rod's not actually supported on anything, which is bad. So I've compensated for this one. This one's fine. This one still needs to be cleaned up. Okay, so don't judge this one yet. Okay. With that being said, I think we're all the way caught up. I'm terribly sorry I lost all the footage. I am doing better to have that not happen again, and I'm doing that by using SSDs instead of HDDs. So they are not mechanical, they're completely digital, and so they're not going to break as easily, but also I'm not going to have my hard drive on really high platforms anymore so that I can drop it. Like, just not putting myself into that position to begin with as a preventative is one of the best things I can do, and so pretty confident here on out that I'm not going to lose any more data, but this has happened twice now in my amateur Luthiery career, so we never know. Back to regular viewing, and this is how I built the neck. This is quite possibly the weirdest neck blank because I didn't have enough width on the material for the headstock, so I had to add on more material. I don't know how I'm gonna router out a channel with the different router. Hold on, we need to get up into the attic. We're going up there. There is a router up there. Fortunately, it is on the router table and it's bolted on with some screws. This can't be that hard to do. This can't be that hard at all. Like, it's a little gappy in some places, but that's really not that bad. I want it perfect, but the setup to get this is going to be hard. I think we just go for it. All right, moment of truth. Okay. Wonder if it still works. Yeah, and that line is straight across. Very good. See, I got not much time to waste, so let's just get it in there. La caca. No sé la palabra para burp. I've been trying to get into the habit of keeping this place cleaner, especially since my dad just allowed me to move that wall back. He actually offered it. No, I offered it. I feel bad, you know? I'm taking so much space in his garage. He won't let me pay any more money for rent. I keep offering. He keeps saying no. Ah, I just made a mistake. Fuck! Wait. Oh no. No, there's no way. No. Uh-oh. Hurry. Hurry. Shit, man, I can't believe I just did this. Are you serious? No way. No freaking way. Oh, yes. I almost just made a mistake. Ooh, no. This was silly. I should not have done. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I almost just let that happen. We have to make this 90, and then we're gonna router out a tenon. That's what we need to do right now. We need this. If I want to kick back a little bit, I actually need to make this angle just a little bit tighter. More material on the top, less material on the bottom, which kicks it forward. No, if it has more on the top and then less on the bottom, that means that the bottom is going to sink in more, right? It's going to go like this. So that should have kickback on it. Right? That's how I take it. Except for this isn't the right way. It actually goes like this. Yeah, it goes like that. Alright, I think we are ready. Kinda gotta poop. Alright, so I'll just put it onto the guitar. It's looking good. I like this distance, gives me room for a nice thick end cap. This is pretty level and it's a pretty tight joint. I can pick up the guitar with it. So now we have to floss it. We have to fit this joint to the guitar and then we can put the fretboard on. Oh my goodness. I've marked the center points for where I want these barrel nuts to go. But the issue that we have is that we need two holes. One that allows this to go on to the side. Shit. We need a hole that goes into the side so we can get the barrel nut in there, and then another hole from the top so we can thread a bolt into it. The issue is that I've made my tenon and my mortise and tenon not deep enough, and so if you look at the height difference between the barrel nut and the tenon, notice that they're almost the same size. And so that leads me to, I either need to make this tenon thicker, which means I'm going to have to recut that and then cut all that down so I can get this in there. Or I can make this barrel nut smaller. This is already fitted to that pretty closely. I'd rather not mess with that if I don't have to. I think that we might be able to just sand these down, make them smaller. I really don't think this is the right way to go about this. Jesus. This is hot, don't touch. This is hot, don't touch. Hot. Okay, we're gonna drill holes into the tenon and then we're gonna fit the size. We've got our 2 holes. We lay the straight edge onto the neck. My neck's not perfectly flat, and so it gets a little bit of a bow. But then down here by where the bridge goes, you want a little bit of a gap. How much of a gap? I don't really know. But I think Chris said 1 millimeter, but there's no way it's just 1 millimeter. I'm dropping shit. I think we have enough kickback. Right, and I can see it too, that it's in line. And the point of that is so that down here at the 12th fret and whatnot, or the 14th fret and whatnot, your action is good. And that saddle is going to be off the soundboard a little bit. And so if this was completely 90 degrees as opposed to kicked back, you know, the strings would be very gappy up here. And you don't want that. So we're trying to run the strings almost parallel to this angle between the saddle and the nut. And to do that, you have to kick back the neck a little bit in order to have this have the proper angle. But on top of that, you also got to make sure that it's aligned this way and this way, right? See how the neck can wiggle? So you want to make sure that the center line ends up exactly on this center line too, lined up with the center of this joint from when we butted the soundboards together. It's actually looking pretty good. It's just, I've spent fucking hours trying to get this perfect, and I can feel the impatience coming in. My youth is getting in my way, you know. I've just aligned the fretboard onto it to where the 14th fret, whoops, this one, the 14th fret lines up perfectly with the body. I've marked where I want the nut to be, and I've marked lines on this so I can see center point. Now I think we can glue the fretboard onto the neck, not to the body, to the neck. Unlike last time, let's make sure we're getting the proper order of operations. So I'm going to press the fret or the truss rod in. Press the truss rod in. Now the plan is to get wood glue, center that up, make sure it's up with these lines like that. I'm going to go through and I'm going to clamp it all down. I am not going to use this because last time I did it, I didn't really get the result I wanted. It was hard to make sure that everything was getting equal or like proper glue squeeze out, and I think part of, let's be honest, I think that most of the reason why this wasn't working for me was because my shit's not perfectly flat. Carbon fiber rods, carbon fiber ribobs. A little bit more here. You're not touching, man. You're not there. Why? Alright, fine. You know what? We'll use this because I need to push that truss rod down. I'll go down here. I'm gonna keep this one on here just to make sure that it stays aligned, because I don't want this to move. Okay, that did not move. Very good. I swear to God, if I forgot something again, I'm gonna... Oh, motherfucker. Look at that. Please focus. You see the 2 center lines? Those are supposed to line up, but it doesn't. And as a result, if you look down the fretboard onto the headstock, you'll notice that it's way off angle. Ooh, don't burn my shirt. You know, like, what do I have to lose? I have nothing to lose. I mean, just look at this fretboard now. I mean, just look at that. What? I could straighten it back out, you know, like I could. But the more I look at it, like I'm not super happy with the fret job on it. And I think I could do a little bit better. Some of the endings don't even touch the wood. Like it's just kind of bad. Centerline. Even in there. Alright, it's starting to look like a neck. Got it all squared up. It's all nice and flush with the fretboard. These dots turned out differently than I expected, but I don't really see why I expected them to turn out any differently, because I guess it is an epoxy. It's almost like a rubber at first. It's starting to get harder now. But it worked okay. It makes me think that if I were to get some actual dye for the epoxy, it would turn out a lot better. So like I've seen online that you can get like all sorts of colors of epoxy, or not epoxy, but like you can get like dyes for the epoxy, and I think that might be the route to go down with stuff like this, where it's just like a solid color. Obviously it's not the same as doing like a pearl or whatnot, but it keeps away from plastic. Same shit, same like chemically, like come on, it's not that different, is it? I need some of my chemical engineering friends to tell me if epoxy is similar to a plastic. I think it's plastic. You can't deform it once it cures. Oh, I guess that makes it into a rubber, not a plastic. Or maybe I got that backwards. I don't know. I'll have to ask one of my smart friends that went to college. Okay, I think this is the right thing to do. It has some buffing compound on it. Now we should be able to go in and polish this up. I've gotten it up to a 600 grit. But I want it to be a little waxy, or like a little bit polished. That way the super glue, when we put the frets in, doesn't stick as much. Ooh, that looks pretty good actually. That looks way good. It's looking so good right now. Like that, honestly, the shine, the sheen. Put some oil on it and see if it... The whole point of this is to, well, it adds a little bit of durability, I believe. And I'm just talking out of my ass here, so I don't actually know. But I believe it will add a little bit of durability. It'll resist rot, especially since I'm in Utah. It's super dry here, so using boiled linseed oil shouldn't cause any issues with going rancid or anything, as far as I'm aware. Plus, it's boiled, so it's not raw linseed oil, it's boiled, which helps. But also, I'm hoping that if I do a couple coats of this, it'll stop the super glue from sticking, and it'll be easy cleanup. Is the idea. The side of the fretboard gets lacquered, so I'm not going to really care about the sides yet. That's looking really nice. I'm gonna let that dry for a little bit. I'm gonna put on a couple coats of oil, and then we can start working on fret. Oh, you're not bad. You're not bad at all, man. You're okay. That one's shit. That one's shit. That one's got a pocket. Otherwise, it would have been really good. And that one's shit. This one was the goal for all of them. But I got 2 really good ones. The rest of them are garbage. Isn't even. But the fret wire is normally wasted anyway, so I don't think it's really gonna matter. Guys, I just can't go to bed. I just don't wanna. I wanna stay up just a little bit longer. Good distance, I guess. Yep. That's number 1. Then I have to nip all of the ends off, file them all down, and then press them all in. Oh, okay, it's the next day now. I just woke up. Don't even have shoes on. But, I want this done. It'd be nice if the binding wasn't the same as the walnut, but I mean, it looks nice actually. Like, that is a viable option. There we go. What if I use the belt sander? Wait a second, I'm not gonna waste all my time doing this by hand if I have a machine. I'm gonna try to put the first fret in, just a little bit, because I really don't want to deal with the glue squeeze out all that much. So, if I can instead just have it like be covered up by the fret, that'd be nice. Put that on. Here's this guy. Pound it. Uh-oh. It's not in all the way. I think that's in all the way. Go to the drill press for this. Yeah. That is pressed in there, man. Hell yeah. Yeah. That's good. That's really good. Okay, to shape the neck, super easy. I'm gonna clamp this shit down like this. We're gonna shape the neck before we do the headstock, because we can do the headstock while it's already mounted onto the guitar. I guess we could shape the neck while it's mounted too, but I'd rather not. So, we have a center line already, and so what we're gonna do is carve two angles that go to that center line, but it's already at the thickness that we want, and so we're not gonna go any thinner. We're just gonna round it off a little bit. Notches. No way! Are you serious? Whoa. Okay, broken headstock. How the fuck? The hell? Okay, I'm gonna clean these up and glue them back together, because what the fuck is that? This, I've already cleaned them up a little bit. This is the headstock. This joint, if you look down it, is completely flat in every direction, on the diagonals, on the vertical, and the horizontal. This is flat and square. This is good. Don't touch that. This one. This is the back side of the fretboard, right? Front side, back side. This is where that piece gets glued on. And if you look at this, I don't know if you can see that on camera, but right at the very top, right there, see that little gap of light? That means that this is not flat. It's flat this way, but it's not flat this way. And what that does is when I go to put this headstock piece on for the scarf joint, it rocks a little bit. It shouldn't rock like that. It should just... But if I move it down a little bit, now it doesn't rock. You see that? Doesn't rock. Does rock. So I need to flatten this. I'm really not messing around with the glue this time. This thing is going to be on there. Okay, got it all lined up. What a pain in the ass. I gotta remember to do that better next time. Alright, well, that's fixed, so. I'm going for thinner at the top, thicker at the heel. Alright, now we need the end cap. Got a piece of sapili. We're just gonna put it on here. Do not want glue on that neck joint, so taking some of that off. Gonna leave just a little bit of a gap. It's looking good. Okay, the neck is on. You guys can't really see shit, can you? The neck is on. It's mostly shaped. I got the end cap on. I'm just waiting for a template for the headstock before I can move on to the headstock, and so I thought maybe I could fit it onto the body and I start working the frets and making it, and like start focusing on the playability of it. Well, I've ran into two issues. Let me show you.